Energy, and it's in the name of Assemblymember Jones.
Is that Assemblymember Jones?
It is.
Brilliant. Yes, thank you.
Jones, yeah.
Well, we are supporting solar energy, Jenny, through London plan policies for renew and refit, and I've asked TfL to look at solar roads to see whether we can get whether we can look. In America, they're trialling this scheme where you extract the energy from the sunlight falling on the road, and it seems to work in America. I'm interested in
Is that Texas as well?
It may be
the things you can learn from Texas.
It may be just because it comes from Texas doesn't mean it's a bad idea.
What I'm really concerned about though is, will you consider my recommendations? Because they're slightly different from yours. I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I'd love to read about it in a newspaper, but I haven't got much time. So will you consider my recommendations?
I'm always happy to, of course, consider your recommendation. I mean, just on the solar energy in general in London, it is never going to, I'm afraid, to be a big game changer, just because of the difficulty of fitting PV in London by comparison with elsewhere in the country. We have many more flats, much less roof space. We've got huge parts of the city that are already conservation areas where you can't put in this stuff. It costs a lot to do it in London. You've got lots of rental accommodation in London where nobody wants to go ahead and do it. So solar we think is only really going to meet about 5% of our needs. We need to be going for other forms of low carbon heating as well, energy as well.
The point that my report makes is that actually, even taking into account all the difficulties in London, and we have looked at all of those, we're still underperforming. And if I could just give you a few facts and figures. Compared with other parts of Britain, London is doing very badly. For example, Sunderland has around 4,000 domestic installations, Southwark, about the same size, 200. Rotherham has over 3,000, and Redbridge, about the same size, has 400. Wigan has nearly 3,000, Wandsworth has 300. So comparatively, London's doing really badly. And all the technology, it's actually, the cost of it has fallen by 50% since 2011. We're talking about a different situation that was happening even 2 or 3 years ago. Look, you've got a team here who could look at this and who could think about, for example, I went to visit a school in Islington. They're getting 25% of their electricity needs from solar panels. And so will you look at this for schools and businesses and so on? Because it is actually a way of improving the well-being of Londoners.
No, I'm a big fan of solar, and I think what you said about Redbridge versus was it Sunderland?
Rotherham.
Rotherham, yeah, it was interesting because actually, although Southwark you might excuse on the grounds there are many dwellings where it's difficult to fit solar. Redbridge probably it might be that there is more scope, and maybe we should be more encouraging of solar in those areas where it can be more readily fitted in London. So I will look at it, and I know Matthew Penchard's is a great fan of this and a fan of your work in this. So let's see what we can do.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
The next question is about